Hello, it's Sonia here, The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be making another ear warmer, and we are going to be making a Tunisian crochet ear warmer. And as you can see, I've already gotten started, and this project is going to be worked in the round. So you will need a Tunisian hook. A lot of my Tunisian patterns, you don't need a Tunisian hook, but for this one you do. And you'll need one with a cord. So as you can see, I've already gotten started. So what you're going to want to do is you will need to make a chain that fits around your head. So I am using a 7mm hook here. So there it is. I think it might actually be a little bit smaller, like closer to 6mm. These are some off-brand Tunisian hooks that I got from Amazon, and they work quite well. It just, when I was comparing them to other hooks that I have, I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm thinking this is probably closer to 6.5mm hook than a 7mm, but it's fine. And this yarn, I would say, is like a DK weight yarn, and the yarn that I'm using is called I got it at a thrift store, and the label was very handily stuck inside the yarn. So the yarn is called Plied, a yarn company, and it's 100% wool. And I'm also going to be using another color too. So this is Paint Box Yarns. The label is not one. It's Paint Box DK. So I think it's going to look nice. I have this picture in my mind of how I want it to look. So we'll see if it actually comes into being. Sometimes my ideas don't always pan out. Okay, so what you'll want to do is you will want to work a chain that fits around your head, but you want it to be an odd number. So I chained 57 here. So once you've worked your chain, you will need to pull up your loops working in the back bump of the chain. So if you're not sure how to do that, that's a basic of Tunisian crochet. I'll have a link placed in the description box that goes over the basics of Tunisian crochet if you've never done it before, to get you started with it. And so once you have your loops on your hook, we will need to work the return pass, because with Tunisian crochet, each row is worked in two parts. So the first part of your row, you're putting your stitches on your hook, which I have already done, and then the second part you will take your stitches off. So we need to take these stitches off, but first we're going to turn this into a round. So there are different ways of working Tunisian crochet in the round. I like this one the best. I find it just to be the easiest and most straightforward. So I need to make sure all of my stitches are not twisted here on my hook. So I'm just kind of running my finger down. And what I'm going to need to do, because I'm going to join and it's going to be a little bit tricky, I'm going to take this cord, I'm just going to pop it out a little bit. So I'm just folding it and sliding it out like that. Alright, so it gives me a little bit more wiggle room. So now we're going to join, and I discovered this technique a couple of years ago on YouTube. YouTube is a great resource of learning all different kinds of things. And I was like, wow, I love this technique for working Tunisian in the round. So you want to make sure that nothing is twisted, that everything is facing the same way. Okay, so we are ready to join and to turn this into a round. So what you want to do is you want your cable in front of you, and we're going to insert our hook in the back in the first two stitches. So you can see the cable is in front and we have those two stitches on our hook. So now we're going to yarn over and pull through both of those two stitches. And now we're ready to continue with our return pass. So we're just going to yarn over and pull through two for the rest of the row, or the round I should say. So we are going to yarn over and pull through two for this round one here. Okay, so I have pulled off my stitches, so you can see we have a circle now. So now we're going to keep going for round 2 and 3 will be the same. So we are going to, and of course you see it gaps here, you're going to use that tail to clean that up when you're done with your ear warmer. And the way we're going to finish it, you're not even going to see it anyway. Okay, so we are going to purl all the way around for round 2. And that will help it to not curl. So we're just purling all the way around for the forward pass. So this is the part of the row where we're putting the stitches on our hook. And then the return pass is where we take the stitches off of our hook. So I'm going to keep going, putting my stitches on my hook, and then I will show you again how we join it and then take the stitches off to complete round 2. So I will meet you back. And again, if you're not sure how to do a purl stitch, I do have a playlist so you have your yarn in front and you work that stitch. So obviously this is not a beginner project. So if you're brand new to Tunisian crochet, then this might not be the best pattern for you or project to start with. But I do have a playlist that goes over the basics and beginner friendly projects. Okay, so here is my round 2 with my forward pass. So I'm gonna show you again how we join the round. So again, you want your cable in front, insert your hook in those 2 stitches, take your yarn, you yarn over, pull through those 2, and then you just continue to yarn over and pull through 2 all the way around until you have 1 loop left on your hook. And then for round 3, you're just going to repeat round 2. Okay, so I finished up round 3. So now we're going to do moss stitch, and I featured this a couple weeks ago on the channel, and I thought it turned out really nice with Tunisian crochet, so I wanted to make a project with it. So in our first stitch here, I know it's kind of hard to see with this yarn, we are working a knit stitch. And then our second stitch is going to be purl. And we're going to repeat that around. So you're going to work knit and purl all the way around for round 4 here. So the knit stitch is, you're inserting it through the stitch, that bar, and then we work the purl with the yarn in front. So at the end of this round, you will join in both loops like we've been doing. And then we're going to utilize our other color. Again, you don't have to use a different color if you don't want to, but I do. So I think it's going to look nice. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to keep going on my forward pass here for round 4. Okay, so I've got my loops pulled up for round 4, working the moss stitch, knit, and purl all the way around. So now I need to join in those first 2 loops. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my other color. So normally you would yarn over, pull through the 2, but I'm going to do my return pass with my other color. So I am grabbing it here. So here we go. Now again, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I think it's going to look neat. I think. We shall see. Alright, so I've got my other color. So I'm going to pull through those 2 loops. And now I'm going to use my other color. Gotta find the working end here, and I'm going to pull through 2 for the rest of the row or the round, and I'm going to leave my main color. So right here I'm just going to let it hang out. So we're going to carry these colors around. So I'm going to keep going here, working my return pass for round 4, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I'm at the end of my return pass here for round 4. So I've got my final 2 loops on my hook. So to finish that off, I'm going to pick up my main color to finish that off, so because I want to use it. So there we go. So there. is round 4. Doesn't look like a whole lot. You can see that other color going through. So let's begin round 5. So with our main color, this is our forward pass. So for round 4, we worked our first stitch as knit, but for round 5, our first stitch is going to be purl. So in all of our knit stitches, we're going to work purl stitches. All of our purl stitches, we're going to work knit. So we're just flip-flopping, so we're doing purl, knit, purl, knit all the way around. And then I'm going to work my return pass the same way with my other color. So I'm going to go do that, and what you're going to do is you're going to repeat rounds 4 and 5 for however wide you want it, and then you're going to work 2 rounds of purl, and then your final round will be purl, but we're going to bind off. So I'm going to go do that. So again, repeat rounds 4 and 5, and I'll let you know how many times I repeat it, and then you will work 2 rounds of purl. So I will meet you back when this is a lot wider. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see, we have a different ear warmer. The other colors I was using was not working out, so I switched to this white and blue, and I actually really like it. So what I ended up doing is I repeated rows 4 and 5 for 11 rows, so this is row 11 here, and then I worked 2 more rows, 12 and 13, in my purl stitch. So now we need to bind off. And I did use a different size hook too. So this is a 5mm hook. So we are going to bind off in purl. So in my first stitch there, I'm going to insert my hook and just work bind off stitch. And you're going to do that all the way around. And then you're going to cut your yarn. And then I'm going to do something to finish it. You could just leave it as is and have the seam be the back of your ear warmer. But I actually want to cover up the seam. So I'm going to keep going, working my bind off row here. So for this ear warmer, I did do a different chain. So I chained 67 for this guy, and it's still a little bit small. I mean, it fits me, but it's definitely probably more for a child, so I'm going to donate this to fit a child. So if I was to make another one of these, I definitely would use a longer chain for sure. But I do think it's pretty. I do really like how it turned out. I think it's really nice. So yarn choice really matters. That was the lesson I learned with this project. So I'm going to keep going binding off, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so I finished binding off my stitches. So now I just need to cut my yarn. Okay, so we have that seam there, and what I thought might be pretty is I kind of wanted to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blue, and I haven't cut the blue, I've left it on, and I'm going to wind it around. So I have a ball here that I can do that with, and so I'm going to take this blue and I'm going to wind it so that it's going to be cinched. So I'm just going to keep winding the yarn around that area. Now you don't have to do that, but so yeah, so that's, you see how I'm going to pull that, and I'm going to have like a lot of blue there. So I actually think that looks really pretty. So I'm going to go do that off camera. I'm just going to keep winding and winding till I like the way it looks, and then I will cut my yarn. So I'll meet you back. Okay, so here is my finished ear warmer. So you can see I just wound that yarn around that seam area, covered it right up. Here's the back. I already I weaved in all my ends, and I really like it. I think it's super pretty. I really like the blue and the white. It kind of is giving me a Frozen type vibe here from the movie Frozen. And this one is definitely more of a child size. I should have made a longer chain, but that's okay. It's going to go for donation, and I think a little girl will totally love this. Hopefully she'll think of Elsa when she sees it. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.